It is a sweet week to be alive and well in the NCAA tournament. Welcome to the big tournament, Sweet 16 edition, live online all across Nexstar Nation. Continuing our NCAA tournament coverage with live reports today from all 4 regional sites across the country. And we're going to start you off with a recap of the tournament so far. And if you're one of those people who take your bracket and you just go chalk with it all the way across, you're probably doing really well. All of the top 3 seeds in every region are still playing in the Sweet 16. It's only the second time since the seeding process began in 1979 that all of the top 3 seeds in each region made it to the Sweet 16. The highest seed to survive is Red Hot Oregon as a 12 seed. They've won 10 straight games. The next lowest seeded team is Auburn. They're a 5. And in tournament history, all the 1 seeds and all the 2 seeds have never advanced to an Elite 8 in the same year. That could happen this year. Be following it closely. A look at the bracket via our big board. That path full of chalk, except oddly enough, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Kansas eliminated by Auburn last weekend. The 2 games tonight in Louisville feature Purdue and Tennessee, and then it's Virginia, the top seed, against Oregon. In Anaheim tonight, you get Florida State against the top seed from Gonzaga. And then you get Michigan and Texas Tech, which should be a doozy. We're going to talk about the other 2 regional sites coming up very shortly. Those games are going to be tomorrow and Sunday. We're going to start in Louisville at the Yum Brand Center for a delicious matchup of 2 programs absolutely starving for a Final Four on the resume. Purdue last made it in 1980. Tennessee's never been to one. We're going live to the Ville now to talk with our reporter, Mark Whiteman, who's going to cover that game tonight. Mark, we're going to start with Purdue. They're rolling at the moment. And they might have the best player in the tournament right now so far in Purdue's Carson Edwards. They blew out the national champs from Villanova last week. What is Tennessee's plan to try and limit Edwards' explosiveness?
Jared, it's going to be a tall task stopping Carson Edwards, the tournament's leading scorer so far. You just mentioned it, 68 points in his first 2 games, including that career-best 42 points against the Wildcats last weekend. In a game he was actually pretty efficient from the field, which hasn't actually been his MO so far this year, right? We all know how good of a scorer Edwards is, but he's actually under 40% from the field this season and 31% in March up until that game against Villanova. So he's capable of getting hot at any time, but he's also pretty capable of shooting himself out of games as well. He's been really, really dynamic so far, but and he, knows he has range out the gym. Tennessee knows he has range out the gym. Lamonte Turner, the feisty, fearless defensive player for the Vols, he's looking forward to matching up with Edwards, and he knows in the scouting report, you got to watch him because he's got range from Louisville all the way to West Lafayette.
It's very important to be locked in, but, I like to pick up full court anyway, so, he's not going to walk into any threes, so, well, at least with me guarding him, and he shouldn't with anybody because that's our scouting report, but, I'm going to be locked in, picking him up 94 feet and just try to stick with him all night.
Turner telling me he is really excited about the challenge of just getting out there and competing with a guy like that. He says he sees a lot of similarities in their game, Jared. More importantly than anything, though, he's been the explosive scorer for Tennessee, a guy who's just as capable of getting hot as Edwards. He knows his defense is going to be counted on first and foremost tonight. All
right, Mark, let's get to the Volunteers in this game. When you look back at what happened to them last week, round 2, a real struggle, just like it was a year ago. They were outed in round 2 last year by Loyola Chicago. A really nervous second half against Iowa last week. It goes to overtime. They eventually get it done. Do the Vols think that experience might actually help them in this game and maybe even beyond?
You know what's funny about that? Rick Barnes actually mentioned the exact same thing in that lead up to the Iowa game. He referenced last year's tournament when they absolutely blew past Wright State in the first round. That was a 26-point win for Tennessee in the first round of last year's tournament. Barnes telling the media before that Iowa game, as that Wright State game was going on last year, he said he turned and looked at his coaches and said, we're going to be in trouble moving forward because March games are never supposed to be that easy. It wasn't easy against Loyola Chicago, of course, and Tennessee's lost last year, and it hasn't been easy so far. You've seen a 16-point lead for the Vols evaporate to nothing against Colgate, a 25-point lead against Iowa evaporate to nothing. That's the biggest blown lead in the history of the NCAA tournament, but both times Tennessee buckled down. They never got nervous. They responded, and they made shots late in key moments to advance. So they're feeling pretty good about how battle-tested they are as they move on to Purdue.
All right, Mark Whiteman, good luck this evening in Louisville. Thank you for joining us there live from the Yum Brand Center. Now, speaking of Carson Edwards, he is the scoring star of this tournament so far. Despite an aching back that's been lingering for weeks, he poured in 42 points in Purdue's win over Villanova last week. He spoke with our Megan McEwen.
Back in the Sweet 16 for the third straight year, coming off a 26-point win. How much confidence is this team playing with right now?
I mean, I feel like it's a good amount of confidence. I mean, regardless of how much we win by, you want to come in with a certain amount of confidence, just playing well and kind of playing loose. But we still understand what we're getting ourselves into. We're one of the best teams in the country, and we're just focused on doing the right things to put ourselves in the best position to win.
Purdue hit 16 threes to make it to the Sweet 16, beating Villanova. How dangerous is this offense when everyone's making shots like that?
I mean, I'd say we're very dangerous in that way, but I feel like that's every team, just being able to make shots. If you knock down the three ball, I mean, it opens up a lot for you. So, I mean, any team being able to knock down threes makes them a tough assignment to stop. But we're just focusing on, honestly, we just go in focusing on the defensive end and just hoping our offense will come, because regardless of shooting the ball, we want to be consistent on the defensive end.
Speaking of offense, you're coming off a 42-point performance, 12 for 21 from the field. You hit 9 threes. What does it take for you to get into that type of zone?
I mean, I just continue to prepare for each game the same way and just come in with the right mindset of just trying to help my team win and doing the right thing. So regardless, I mean, I'm able to knock down shots if I am, but for the most part, just going in and preparing myself the same way.
Tennessee has 4 players that average double figures in the starting 5. How do you slow down a team who has so many offensive weapons?
We just kind of keep them out of transition and just try to contain the dribble. And then after that, just try to contest shots and make it tough for them. But they're very, very good players, and they're a deep team. So just trying to make things tough for them.
Purdue hasn't been to the Elite Eight since 2000. How satisfying would it be to be the first team to get back there in 19 years?
That would be cool. But for the most part, we're just focusing on this game right now. But it would be cool to advance. But we playing one of the best teams in the country first. So that's a tall task for us first that we're working and focusing on.
It'll be a fun game to watch later tonight. To the early game in Anaheim tonight, featuring Gonzaga and Florida State. And this game has people curious. Can FSU, with all its athleticism and toughness developed through its run through the ACC, can they send the Zags home? The Bulldogs have won 32 games this season, #1 in the country in scoring. They average more than 88 points per game. That's 2 more points than the next best team. Rui Hachimura, superstar forward from Japan, leads the Zags in scoring more than 20 a game, National Player of the Year candidate. That is the test for Florida State, who comes in with 15 wins in their past 17 games, only losses to Duke and UNC. Not bad. And not a lineup of stars either, but a bunch of big physical guys, a giant lineup. And clearly the Zags have read the scouting report.
Their 5-man is 7'4". Their 4-man is like 6'10". They have a really big guy coming off the bench too. So, you know, obviously that's always going to be tough with us because we're not like a really, really big team, really. So we're just going to have to match that with us playing really hard, pretty much.
The second game of the night in Anaheim matches 2 of the best teams from the opening 2 rounds of this tournament. Michigan and Texas Tech, they both look dominant. Now they face off for a spot in the Elite Eight. And it is a delight to talk to my old buddy Jack Doles, who joins us live from Anaheim to tell us about this game. Jack, let's start with the Wolverines. Fresh off the run to the national title game last year, they are such a deep, talented roster. How has their depth factored so far in the tournament?
You know, it's interesting, Jared. It feels like they're deep, right? You've got such a balanced scoring attack. Brazdeikis, the freshman, averages 13 a game so far in the postseason here. Poole and Livers, sophomores, they're averaging 12 points a game. Then you've got Matthews, and you've got Teskey averaging 9 a game. And then you've got Simpson, you know, the great junior point guard out of Lima, Ohio, averaging 8 points and 10 assists a game. So it feels like they're deep because they've got so much balance, but they really only go 7 deep in this tournament. Jared, they've got 3 guys that are averaging over 30 minutes a game in the tournament and only 7 guys that are averaging more than double digits in minutes. So it's kind of they're not real deep, and if they get into foul trouble, they're going to be in some big trouble against this very athletic Texas Tech team. But, boy, they really spread the ball around and play great together.
Well, let's talk real quick about the way they play defense. They are such a phenomenal defensive team, second in the country only to Virginia on defense. That's John Beilein, right? That's his MO.
That's absolutely John Beilein, and this team has really bought in. They bought in last year, too. You got a lot of guys back from there. You know, it starts with Xavier Simpson, who is one of the best defensive players in the Big Ten, and also Charles Matthews, one of the probably best defensive forwards in the country, and he's going to have his hands full tonight. Can't wait to see that matchup. But what's great about this team is if somebody gets by somebody, you've got John Teskey there to protect the rim. Everybody knows their role. They really play together. And when we talked to these guys about that, they talked about their chemistry being key, and it really comes through on defense. Let's listen in about the chemistry of the Michigan Wolverines. Is chemistry as big a key to anything with the success of this team?
Definitely. Chemistry. If we didn't have chemistry, we wouldn't be as far as we wouldn't have such a good season as we did. All Beeline teams seem to have really good chemistry. At least all the good ones that I know of all have great chemistry. They all work. They all want the same goal. They all have the same goals. It's kind of like everybody's just sharing kind of the same personality and the goal of this team.
You've been to Kentucky. You've experienced that. You've been here under Coach Beeline now for a few years. What is it about this program where the chemistry just seems to be so good?
It's just the culture. We stay true to that. We continue to build relationships with each other that last on and off the court.
How much does that help, especially when you get into a dogfight, a tight game late?
It's huge, just knowing that you got your brothers beside you and we play for each other.
We spent a tremendous amount of time in our off-season talking about culture and being a great teammate. And so once we get to the season, those are just habits that are part of our guys' DNA. And as the season evolves and gets along, you go from a coach-led team to a player-led team, and I think that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, John Beeline's in his 41st season now as a head coach, and he just seems to be hitting his stride right now, Jared. Seems to be having more fun every year coaching at Michigan.
You got to love this matchup, though, especially for tonight. You consider what Texas Tech brings to this party. Lubbock's own Jarrett Culver has been an absolute star in this tournament so far for the Red Raiders. He's going to be an NBA lottery pick next year for sure. I can't imagine Michigan, Jack, has played many players better than him this year.
There are a lot of talented guys in the Big Ten, but I don't think they've seen anybody like this. Culver was the Big 12 Player of the Year this year. Probably the best player a lot of people haven't heard of, but now he's got this big stage that after tonight, I think a lot of people will know who he is. But so Charles Matthews gets the assignment of trying to shut him down. So, you know, Culver's going to have his hands full too, but he's not the only one on this team. Matt Mooney, a transfer from South Dakota, he can light it up from the outside. Davide Moretti, who came to Lubbock, Texas from Italy. Talk about culture shock. That guy can shoot too. He's averaging 50% from the field. He's over 40% from three, and he lights out at the free throw line. He struggled a little bit in the tournament, but he's a guy that if he gets hot, look out, Michigan. And Tariq Owen's also a very athletic player. So Michigan's going to have its hands full. That great defense is going to be tested. The biggest thing for Michigan tonight is, can they avoid some of those offensive letdowns, those 3, 4, 5 minutes without a field goal moments that have plagued them in the tournament and then also in the Big Ten, especially when they played Michigan State. But, yeah, this is going to be a great matchup. 2 great matchups in Anaheim. Can't wait to be there at the Honda Center to watch some great basketball, Jared.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that either, Jack. And one last thing for you before we go. Can you have your photographer just widen up the shot a little bit there? Because, you know, most of the country here is still dealing with, 30 and 40-degree weather. And you appear to be poolside. Do you have like a frosty drink with you? What's up?
I don't have any fancy drink, Joe. You can pull out just a little bit here. I am
Are you
in
serious?
shorts because I'm not going to wear jeans when it's 70 degrees after a long winter. But I will tell you, Jared, I haven't worn this jacket since Pyeongchang. And it was interesting what I found. Did you know that Korean Buckeyes turn blue after a while?
No.
But they're still really tasty.
That is such an inside joke, but it's so good. Jack, continue battling the stress out there, buddy. Good to talk to you. We'll see you later on this weekend. A man of leisure, Jack Doles. The late game tonight feature the seeding by seeding standards. This is an odd matchup, right? Back in Louisville. Top seed Virginia overcoming those demons from losing in the opening round last year. They looked really strong in round 2 last weekend. They're going to get Oregon tonight. And the Ducks have people quacking in their boots. AJ McCord is a professional. She would never write something as dumb as I just wrote. She joins us live from Louisville to talk about this game tonight. Oregon's won 10 straight. 4 games to win in 4 days, in fact, to win the Pac-12, just to get into this tournament. They're playing without their mega freshman Bull injured earlier in the year, and yet here they are. Epic tear. They blew out UC Irvine last week. This is a big jump in competition now, playing the nation's top-ranked defensive team.
It certainly is, but you know what? Oregon is ready for it, and they say they're going to keep doing the same thing that's gotten them those 10 straight wins. 11 games ago, Oregon head coach Dana Altman changed his lineup, and he put 4 6'9" guys starting along with Peyton Pritchard, who is the junior who's the only one left from the Ducks' Final Four run a couple years ago. And he said that has nothing to do with height. It has everything to do with heart. And as cliche as it sounds, that is what is clicking for Oregon right now. This team is playing together. They're looking up to each other. They're working together. And you talked about that UC Irvine game. Certainly the final score was a blowout, but the second half did not start the way Oregon wanted him to. UC Irvine went on a 14-0 run to start the second half, and it was the play of the transfer Ihab Amin. He's a senior, and you want to talk about a long-distance flight. He is originally from Egypt, but he came onto the court off the bench and just wreaked havoc. At one point when he was at Corpus Christi, he was the leader in steals, and so this guy turned the game around for Oregon. And I talked to Kenny Wooten, who's had a couple of highlight block shots of his own, and he said after the game that this team is really buying into what the seniors and what the leaders are telling them, and that's what's gotten them on this run, and they hope that's what's going to get them through Virginia tonight.
Yeah, that second half against UC Irvine was incredible to watch. The rate at which Oregon closed that game out, it's like they were on a dead sprint at the finish. As we mentioned, though, this is a big jump in competition considering the defensive effort they're going to get from Virginia. UVA taking care of Oklahoma in the second round last week. They got a really strong player back, healthy again. It might be a difficult thing for UVA, you'd imagine, to get back up and then play a team this hot like they're going to see from Oregon. What do you know about UVA and the way they match up with Oregon?
Well, I think similar to how Oregon matched up against Wisconsin, both these teams pride themselves on their defense. So I would expect that the person who wins on defense is the one who's going to do this. They do have the ability to have some high-powered offense, both teams, but they both really hang their hat on the defensive end. I talked about Ihab Amin. He's the one off the bench for Oregon who's consistently given them a spark defensively, in particular, in this 10-game win streak. And Kenny Wooten, if he can get hot, he loves swatting those balls out into the stands. He says his goal is always to go 3 rows or above into the stands. He had a couple of those against UC Irvine. So I think they match up really well. I think we're going to get a great game tonight. But Dana Altman said yesterday, we are going to have to play our best basketball. And it's a good thing that right now every player, he says, knows their role. And they have to play that role. They can't try to do too much. This is a very inexperienced team. When you look at a lot of the other tournament teams, only 2 players have ever played in an NCAA tournament before last weekend. So Dana Altman said these guys have to keep doing their job, not trying to do too much, but just stick with what they know, with what has worked. And if they do that, they've got a shot against Virginia.
It'll be a fascinating collision of styles tonight, AJ. Thanks so much for joining us there in Louisville, continuing on the big tournament. So the reset here, if you're just joining us online right now across Next Star Nation, we've got 2 games down, or 2 venues down, I should say. Now on to the games set for tomorrow and Sunday. Those are games set for Washington, D.C. and Kansas City. We're going to start in Washington, nation's capital, Capital One Arena. Brian Holland is there live to tell us about an excellent 2 versus 3 game. It is Michigan State and LSU. The Tigers, what a wild game that was in round 2, a buzzer beater to beat Maryland. But listen, LSU, they lost a teammate this past year. They're still without their head coach, Will Wade, who remains on suspension. And yet, this seems like a focused, inspired team. Let's talk about Tony Benford, the interim coach. The job he's done to keep this team focused and moving along.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. You talk about that emotion, by the way. Hey, every team here has talent. Every team has size, athleticism, can make shots. And for the most part in this field of 16 that's still remaining, they can all win in multiple ways, making them an elite team here in the last couple of rounds. LSU, though, when you talk about what they're playing for, that's the type of team that can maybe make a run. And LSU's managed their emotions. You talk about their interim coach because of suspended coach. Of course, Will Wade no longer with him, suspended by his own administration, by the way. And then you also talked about, by the way, LSU's Wade Sims, number 44 on this team, no longer with him. We talked about it last week. He was shot and killed just blocks from LSU's campus just hours before their first practice this fall. And then something very, very it's going to give you chills when you hear it. It happened in that last round, that big win against Maryland in the round of 32 when they looked up at that scoreboard.
These guys have dedicated the season away. I mean, everything they do is about 44. For instance, the other night we were playing Maryland. It was 44 on the scoreboard, and Trey just stopped the huddle. Said, "Coach, look what's on the scoreboard, guys." And we went out and the guys got more focused. So we just did it. It's been about Wade this entire year, and it will be. I told these guys, it's the rest of their life. These guys will never forget Wade Sims.
It was actually something that we all, realized that. It was time to go out and play our game and, do the best that we can. And everything was for him and Coach Wade. I mean, they obviously both play a big part in what we do. I mean, getting through moments like that, helps the team a lot.
For most teams, those types of things, those types of events, off-the-court headlines, those would derail a whole season. LSU has, even with very, very young talent, you just saw Naz Reid, a freshman. You talk about Tremont Waters, really one of the leaders. He's just a sophomore. They've really done well as a young team managing those emotions.
Certainly have, and the performance shows it. Michigan State on the other sideline, among the more physical, feisty teams you're going to find in America. A team led by the Big Ten Player of the Year, Cassius Winston. He's been phenomenal all year. This is the first time in the Sweet 16 in 4 years for Michigan State. A little bit of a drought by their standards. So how hungry does MSU sound to you when you've talked to them?
To be honest with you, they don't. They sound like that veteran team that's always even-keeled. Nothing affects them. And this is basketball. This is a game of runs. That's the type of team that scares you. Also, by the way, Jared, it also scares you because LSU interim coach Tony Benford calling Cassius Winston a Kemba Walker-like player. Of course, remember, Kemba Walker making an amazing run, stepping up in the case of injury with those Huskies, just the same way Cassius Winston is doing for Michigan State, leading them on a run. They are a very dangerous team. Someone brought up that match. Well, several reporters, of course, brought up that matchup. It's going to be one that NBA scouts are going to be looking at. Cassius Winston against Tremont Waters. Who's the best point guard in the country? And by the way, when that was brought up to interim coach Tony Benford, he said, I think I like my guy too.
As well he should, Brian. Brian Holland joining us on the site of that game. It's going to be a phenomenal one later on tomorrow. Thank you, sir. To the other side now, to Kansas City. Trendy Final Four pick. Granted, it's not a big upset of a 2 seed makes the Final Four. But the way North Carolina competed with Duke this year, many people think they could get a 4th shot at the Blue Devils. They got some work to do if they want to get there, and that starts with the Auburn Tigers tomorrow night to the home of barbecue, Kansas City. Jeff Jones is there. Jeff is torn like an old sweater this week because, Jeff, you cover UNC all the time, but you grew up in Auburn, Alabama. How's your heart this week, buddy?
You know what? You said torn like an old sweater. That's one I'm writing down in my phone right now, Jared. I like that one. So I am, in fact, torn like an old sweater. Like you said, I cover UNC, so that means if the Tar Heels win, I get to go on and continue to stay here eating that good barbecue that you were just talking about in Kansas City, and then I could potentially move on to the Final Four in the national championship game. And in our line of work, you want to do that. You want to cover those big-time events. But I did grow up in Auburn, Alabama, so, part of me always screams War Eagle at the top of my lungs, even when I'm silent on press row. So I think what I have is a win-win situation on my hands right here. Whoever wins tomorrow, I'm going to be happy because when they win, I win. And America wins, Jeff. Really, we all do. That was a diplomatic answer, sir. Let's talk about the Tar Heels. Looking strong through the opening 2 rounds. Please. Absolutely. They had 2 convincing wins at Carolina. Cameron Johnson really shoots at a high percentage. The Heels have played, though, a balanced team game throughout. Your analysis of UNC and their preparation for Auburn. Yeah, I think their preparation actually just changed last night. And, Jared, this is some news that broke here about an hour ago. And if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter at Jeff Jones Sports, of course, you got that news first. And that big news is that Tar Heels freshman forward Nasir Little, who at one point was predicted to be a top 3 pick in this year's NBA draft, may not play tomorrow. Coach Roy Williams described some flu-like symptoms that Nasir is going through, a fever, a loss of appetite, aches and pains. And he actually did not even come from the team hotel. hotel here to the Sprint Center with the team. He stayed back in the hotel to rest up. Coach Williams said if the game was today, there is no way in the world, that's his words, not mine, that Nasir would play. And so you spoke of how balanced the team has been. They don't just lean on one guy like Cam Johnson, Luke May, Kobe White, or Nasir Little. All of them chip in a little bit. Well, if Nasir can't go tomorrow, all of those stars, Luke, Cam, Kobe, are going to have to chip in just a little bit more, and that could end up being the difference in this game, losing a guy who has top 5 NBA draft pick talent and potential.
Yeah, that's significant news for that game. And you think about they'd want every piece they could have because Auburn is on an absolute heater right now. They tore up Tennessee in the SEC championship against Kansas last week. I'm not sure if they were playing an NBA team, they'd have lost in that game. 6 different Auburn players have hit 30 or more three-pointers this season. Clearly, that has to concern Carolina.
You know, it was interesting. We just left the Carolina locker room not too long ago, and there were 2 very different mindsets in that locker room. I spoke to Kobe White, who, of course, is the freshman star guard who's going to be guarding many of Auburn's guards who like to shoot those threes. And Kobe said they're fearless, and they know that 3 is worth more than 2. So Kobe is well aware of what he's going to see from those Auburn Tigers tomorrow. Guys like Luke May, Sterling Manley, and Garrison Brooks, you know, some of the bigger guys who may not have to chase those perimeter shooters around quite as much, said instead of changing their tactics, instead of changing their X's and O's, they're focused on changing their mindsets. They want to remain with a sense of urgency. They want to close out with their length with a sense of urgency and always give effort when closing out Auburn shooters. And they want to remain calm and not get frustrated when Auburn shoots shots because they're a volume shooting team. So, of course, they're going to make a bunch of their shots, but they are going to miss a few as well. So urgency and denying frustration that may want to come into your mind.
Well, we're following that game very closely. That's going to be an entertaining matchup. Jeff Jones joining us live in Kansas City. Thank you, sir, and good luck with your heart. Later on tomorrow night. That's going to be a tough one. So a couple shades of blue in Kansas City this weekend. You got Tar Heel and you got Kentucky Big Blue. The Wildcats beating Houston in the other Sweet 16 game there. UK coming off a tough second round game had to rally to beat Wofford. If Wofford had a couple more threes in the chamber, they might have beaten the Cats. UK also playing without their top scorer right now. That's PJ Washington. Curious to see if he'll be healthy. What we're going to do right now, we're going to go back live to Kansas City. Coach John Calipari is at the podium talking about it.
18 minutes. If PJ plays more than that, I would be stunned, surprised. If he doesn't play at all, I would not be surprised. So we'll just have to see.
Got a question here. We have 2 on the aisle, then we'll come back here. Go.
Coach K. Carlton, South Boston News Record. You're one of 4 SEC teams that have made it to the Sweet 16. How much does that speak to kind of the competitiveness in the conference?
Well, let me go back to this too. Vanderbilt lost their best player who they were building around. Is going to be a top 7, 8, 10 pick in the draft. Missouri lost their big guy early in the year. He would have also been a top 10, 12 pick in the draft. Those are 2 teams that slid because of those injuries. When you talk about that on top of the 7 teams that made it, and maybe one more could have, every game was a war. There were no easy games in our league for any team, which is why we benefited now. I like to say that when you're at Kentucky, a lot of times teams have nothing to lose when they play you. Not a thing to lose. You're at our place, they don't think nothing to lose. The greatest thing, and we have everything to lose. If we lose a game, oh my goodness. If we lose a home game, they got a list of who the next coach is going to be. That's one of these 6 guys. So I say that in this tournament, what's good for everyone has something to lose. Well, we have nothing to. Oh yeah, you do. Your season ends. We're all in the same boat, and hopefully, again, our team understands how good, how well coached, how balanced, how deep Houston is, or it'll be us going home.
We are halfway through the session.
All right, that's Coach John Calipari speaking live in Kansas City. That was incredible timing, so we'll be following that. If P.J. Washington is good to go for the Cats tomorrow, they're going to need him. Houston's a really good offensive team, and they're really good defensively. They're top 10 in the country on defense, and they can get going from 3 as well, so that's a matchup to follow. One last check-in here. We're going back to D.C., where the #1 overall seed resides, but it was a nightmare of a second-round game for Duke. One fortuitous bounce away from being home for the Sweet 16. The Devils survived UCF. Now they get a familiar opponent. They get Virginia Tech out of the ACC, and Jermaine Farrell has this thing covered. Coast to coast. He was in San Jose last week and now in our nation's capital this week. Let's talk about VOD Tech. One of the few teams to beat Duke this season. Granted, Duke played that game without Zion Williamson, but the Hokies enter this game perhaps a little bit more confident, right, than a typical Duke opponent?
Well, good afternoon, Jared, first of all. And I tell you, there is confidence for the Virginia Tech basketball team in the fact that you did mention they did beat them in February at the Castle Coliseum. A 77-72 win for the Virginia Tech Hokies over Duke. You keep in mind in that game, Zion Williamson wasn't in the game for Duke, but also Virginia Tech, they didn't have their key player in Justin Robinson. So this is going to be a different game and a different feeling. And earlier today, we spoke with Nikhil Alexander-Walker about not only the previous matchup, but the upcoming matchup. And I tell you one thing, he has a unique perspective about tomorrow's game.
I don't think we need the credit. A win's a win. At the end of the day, when you look at it, it goes into the win column, and that's all the credit we pretty much need because it's going to help our resume. Yes, they didn't have Zion, and we also didn't have J-Rob, but now it's a whole new game. It's a whole new season. There's new opportunities for both teams, and we can't really look about what happened in February.
And that is what really unique about it, the perspective of that game. That was a February game. Now we're in a key game. It's a win or go home situation. And it sounds like it's not, some people might think that might be coming off a little cocky, but I think it is honestly a great perspective when you look at the fact that was a February game, and a win is a win, and particularly when you can beat Duke, that is big, when you can knock off a blue blood team like the Duke Blue Devils.
Well, UCF nearly beat Duke last week, and let's talk about that game because what UCF did to Duke, they packed it in. They decided they were going to make Duke beat them shooting threes. And if you follow Duke, you know that is not a high percentage three-point shooting team. So did UCF in a way give the country a blueprint, a way to beat Duke?
Well, Jared, unless you have someone that's 7'6",
yep.
I mean, that's the blueprint. If Virginia Tech could sign a 7'6" guy right now, that'd be the blueprint. But that'll be the key for Virginia Tech. Yes, you have a guy that's been on a tear and of course, Kerry Blackshear Jr. In fact, when Justin Robinson went out with the injury, not only did you have so many players step up, but Kerry Blackshear Jr. stepped up, nearly averaging a double-double and going on a tear. And that's going to be a unique matchup when they match up between Zion and, of course, Kerry Blackshear Jr. I think it's going to be a great matchup. But the key for Virginia Tech, particularly in the middle with their post players, they cannot get into foul trouble. Kerry Blackshear Jr. must stay on the court, and they must play well. Now, Virginia Tech is one of the good defensive teams in the country, and that's going to be the key right there. Stay out of foul trouble, post players. KBJ, you can't pick up a nickel and dime foul, man. You got to do your thing, and that's what they're going to have to do. But Virginia Tech, again, the confidence against Duke, it helps to play someone very familiar. But that's what the Hokies are going to have to do there.
Jermaine, they need you in the locker room tomorrow night. It's that simple. That was motivational.
You know, Buzz might call me in. He has those T-shirts that you can actually. I did a web extra story, which you can see on the Big Tournament page, about motivational T-shirts at Virginia Tech they have, and it's sayings that Buzz Williams and the team they come up with, and it's a great story. So check it out on the Big Tournament web page right there. A little section on all the Next Star Station web pages.
That is a brilliant plug, sir. Well done, Jermaine Farrell. Thanks for joining us there from D.C. That is a wrap on our cross-country coverage of the big tournament. Sweet 16 edition. We're back tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern start, so noon Pacific, right here online across all the Next Star stations as we take another step toward the Final Four. Enjoy the games. We'll see you back tomorrow.